Hello and welcome to MMOFTW for April 6th, 2014. I'm your host, Bill Murphy, and this is the week that was in MMO news. How many times has Death been killed? What big changes are coming to Guild Wars 2? How long will Van Helsing 2 be delayed to get its polish on? Also, what do we think of the Elder Scrolls Online so far? Watch on to find out, because this is MMOFTW. Blizzard has revealed some interesting statistics for Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls, the first expansion to the original game. In the first week since release, Reaper of Souls has sold over 2.7 million copies on PC and Mac, and Malthael, the Archangel of Death, has been killed 1.5 million times and rising. Be sure to head to the Diablo 3 page at MMORPG.com and then to the review section to check out our thoughts on the expansion. ArenaNet is continuing its look at quality of life improvements and feature enhancements that will be coming to Guild Wars 2 with the deployment of the next update on April 15th. In the recent blog post, the team outlines the Megaserver structure that will be implemented. No matter what homeworld players reside on, they will be able to game with friends across servers thanks to the new technology. In short, it's a lot like what we see already in games like The Secret World and, of course, the recently released Elder Scrolls Online. Read more about how the Megaservers will improve quality of life in the game on the Guild Wars 2 website. The Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing 2 will be delayed slightly due to what the development team is calling a monster invasion. In a letter sent to subscribers, devs said that the extra time will give the team additional hours needed to polish the game even more in an effort to keep players nailed to their seats when the game launches on May 22nd. That's the new date. Lastly, we wanted to share some early thoughts on the Elder Scrolls Online with you all as sort of a review in progress on our long-awaited MMORPG, which released this Friday after a rocky first 5 days of early access for pre-order customers. The Elder Scrolls Online is easily the most anticipated and biggest MMO launch since Star Wars: The Old Republic. Indeed, many people probably wrote ESO off as another SWTOR in terms of hype and letdown, but so far, I believe those people are mistaken. There are a lot of wonderful design choices in ESO, some not so great ones, and plenty of bugs to grind an axe on. But in my nearly 20 hours played since Head Start, one thing's prevailed. I'm having a lot of fun, and the rabbit hole keeps getting deeper. I don't want to stop playing, but for some reason I'm told I should eat, drink, maybe shower, stretch a bit, whatever. Let's not be coy though. Elder Scrolls Online's first handful of days have been shaky. Not quite Ion or Final Fantasy XIV's levels of ouch, but certainly shaky. Our polish category is probably going to be ESO's biggest hurdle, in all honesty. There are bugs galore in ESO, even though some have been fixed during the Head Start downtime. Anyone claiming that the game's Head Start experience has been smooth, well, we might have to disagree on what that word means. What I will say is that despite all of the aforementioned woes, I'm absolutely enthralled with the game. Its crafting, exploration, achievements, and class building permeate every thought. I find myself giving a damn about the story in an MMO for once, and unlike SWTOR, I'm not already getting tired of quests. Why? Because they're very rarely anything mundane. Even the mundane tasks like stealing a bottle of wine involve throwing rats onto the floor or scaring the PTSD-suffering innkeeper so that she leaves her post. In short, Elder Scrolls Online's world and systems are expertly crafted. They may not be the most polished, but what's here is very good, very deep, and very entertaining. Some of the issues I had during beta, such as the lack of impact on melee combat, have been righted quite well. The collision detection on NPCs and screen shaking really does help to make melee a bit more impactful. This is where vibration on an Xbox controller would help even more, I'd imagine, but I like my mouse and keyboard, thanks. I will say that I think ESO needs to be a little less stingy on handing out gold. With no real auction house, all selling to other players is done via the guild system or in-zone chat, you might find yourself often broke. You'll want and need potions and food, you'll need to repair, and you'll want to teleport to a location from time to time without having to run to the nearest shrine. And the gold you earn from mobs, quests, selling junk, and sometimes great items to vendors is just not enough to keep up with the other needs that allow you to save up for other horses at higher levels, and all that other good stuff. It doesn't need to be a drastic increase. Something as little as allowing all the items which sell for 0 gold to vendors to sell for 1 gold apiece would likely do the trick. That said, I'm really enjoying the idea of having up to 5 guilds and selling to and from players that way. I'm part of a rather large guild and we have separate branches to fit our members, but because of the multi-guild system, I can be in with all of my friends, as well as a guild that's specifically designed to use as a trade bazaar. I'm not always comfortable selling straight up to my guildies, as I'd rather have them just give them things. But if I need to make a living, so the ESO Bazaar works wonders and has tons of stuff for sale too. I've spent a lot of time so far just making sure I explore every corner of the map too. Why? Because ESO doesn't just send you on Quest Hub quest grinds. The storyline tends to move linearly through each map, but if all you do is the main zone story, you're going to miss on many side dungeons, crafting spots, sky shards, side quests, world bosses, and on and on and on. It boggles my mind that once I hit level 50 and complete all of my Ebonheart pack zones, I'll have 2 other whole faction zones to explore. Even if I never intended to do Cyrodiil PvP, there's enough content in ESO right now to last me several months, and if I'm lucky, by the time I've done all 3 faction zones, I'll have adventure zones, more dungeons, and of course more everything else to work on. I've already made up my mind that ESO is certainly worthy of its subscription, especially if they keep adding content as often as they claim they will. All of this, and I'm still only level 14 of 50. I haven't touched PvP because our guild picks a campaign this weekend actually, and I haven't even gotten into it, and I'm not even out of the first main zone for the Ebonheart Pact. I know it's not the sandbox that some people have hoped for, and I know some can't get past the MMO-isms that ZeniMax had to put onto the IP, but I wish they would put those aside and just play this MMO RPG. Bugs and launch struggles aside, ESO is a truly mammoth and deep MMO. I've got a lot more playtime to get in before our final scoring in late April or very early May. ESO probably won't be for everyone, as no game ever is, but it certainly seems to be my kind of game, and I'll gladly keep playing it, so long as the servers stay up and the bugs don't stop my progress. That does it for this week's top stories and our review in progress on Elder Scrolls Online. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch at MMORPGcom without the dot. You can find me on Twitter at TheBillMurphy. Thanks for watching, see you next week, and as always, don't let a bad pug get you down.